Hello, my name is Jeremy Bolen. I'm an interdisciplinary artist based in Atlanta, Georgia, where I also serve as a professor of art at Georgia State University. I received my MFA from University of Illinois Chicago in 2012. So a lot of my work has to do with the impact humans have on the planet. For a very long while I've been very involved with the topic of the Anthropocene, where I've worked with many researchers, including the Anthropocene Working Group, scientists, mathematicians, lawyers, all kinds of different disciplines for the last decade or so. I'm interested in how art and science relationships can forge new ways of understanding, of seeing the world, of the way that knowledge is produced, the way that we understand our presence on the planet. And for the most part, most of my work the last 5 or 6 years has been really focusing on the topic of geoengineering. So that is how new initiatives that are forming to alter the planet in a way, in this case, in ways to make our planet continually habitable. This exhibition, Future Weather, it's all brand new work I've made in the last 6 or 8 months, and it's concerning our planet's health and our impact on the planet. Kind of an underlying concern, our question that's kind of posed in this exhibition is how our human movement matters, the way that we traverse the planet, how that impacts how the planet exists. A lot of the work kind of was conceived early on in the COVID pandemic when during lockdown the Earth actually moved less. So when scientists were monitoring the seismograph machines, actually the fact that we weren't moving had an interesting impact on the planet. A large topic in this exhibition is a geoengineering initiative called solar radiation management. And what that is a proposed initiative, project to spray sulfur particles in the stratosphere to cool down the Earth. It's the only way they can instantly cool down the Earth, so they could do this today and actually lower the temperature in Washington, D.C. There's no other way that could actually happen. If everyone stopped driving in the entire planet, it would still take many, many years to have an impact. There are researchers around the world working on this. There's a lot of money behind it, etc. They think this will work because the last large volcanic eruption in Indonesia in the 1840s, that cooled down the entire planet for a year. They call it the year with no summer, right? It snowed in Virginia in July. And that's because of the sulfur that emanated from the volcanic eruption. So the trade-off of this, at least for what they know, would be the sky would not be blue anymore, and you would not be able to see the stars. So a lot of what I'm talking about with a lot of this work is sort of the aesthetics, the speculative future of what that may look like, so we can kind of understand that if we keep existing the way we are, that the repercussions of that, from many different perspectives, what they are, but aesthetically what it may look like. So the basis of a lot of the photographic images on the walls are, I've been studying at Yerkes Observatory, which is one of the first astrophysics laboratories in the world. And I had access to their slide library of 8x10 glass plate negatives, some of the first images ever taken of the night sky, recorded of the night sky. So thinking about that mode of vision, of seeing, and then I've altered them by layering them with sulfur and color and different things that block out what we can actually see, and along with objects that kind of help us understand and see the world. Another concern within this exhibition is another project called de-extinction, where there's laboratories around the world, a primary one being in Dallas, Texas, that are trying to bring back extinct species. The ones that I'm talking about in this exhibition are the passenger pigeon, the Tasmanian tiger, and the woolly mammoth, all slated for de-extinction efforts. So kind of questioning what that means and why we would do that, and how that affects our planet and what it means to bring back an extinct species to a changing planet, but also a planet that in the future might look a lot different than it does now. So another topic that's really important in this exhibition and very current at the moment is the recent cuts in climate monitoring and weather monitoring funding. And some of those cuts involve not having funding to launch weather balloons anymore, so we don't understand the weather as much and what's happening, and we're not able to respond as well or as quickly to weather events as they happen. Actually, yesterday, Washington DC was in the Northeast, was a very good example of this, as there was potential flooding happening with almost no warning. And also the decommissioning of major weather climate satellites. So these works behind me, they have a few elements from all those happening. I've included deflated weather balloons within these works, but also these images that you're seeing here, these small images that are interlaid over the Yerkes Observatory star images are some of the last images taken with NOAA-15 and NOAA-19, the two weather satellites that were just decommissioned in June of 2025. So I hope for visitors to come away with questions, I suppose, as to what their movement does to the Earth and how it impacts the Earth, and I think also what the Earth will look like in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, in 100 years, with human impact and the different initiatives that will occur to sort of combat that and make our world habitable. But also, I never really like to approach work in a finger pointy sort of way. So I think visitors can take what they like from it. But I think work like this, there's a lot of found objects involved that are merged with sort of different modes of materiality and expression. And I hope that these objects people have relationships with, and that they can sort of think about what the relationship is with said objects and what that sort of means to have this included in the work. Immediately, I have a bunch of projects coming up. I'm working on a big installation at the Atlanta airport I'm really excited about. That's going up in November of this year. We'll be up for over a year. That will include the Gold Cup coming to Atlanta. So it's exciting because it's going to reach just like a different kind of audience and a really massive audience of people, even if they're just strolling by. But it's like, in a way, a dream to show in a place like an airport for me. And it's sort of funny too, because I use a lot of airplane parts in my work. But yeah, in general, I'm just, I've been on the path of working on this stuff for quite a while now, and I'm just continuing it and trying to work on larger scales and continuing to try to figure out ways to kind of create new conversations and fresh conversations about our planet.